Most growers apply a pre- and post-emergence herbicide to corn. The Corvus and DiFlex Duo 2-pass program offers a zero-tolerance approach to weed management and also helps manage herbicide resistance. Corvus is a pre-emergence herbicide and DiFlex Duo is a post-emergence herbicide.
Zero tolerance is a term that we utilize in weed management in that you do not want to add weed seed to your field or your soil bank. Zero tolerance is a very important topic with a lot of producers, and herbicides like Corvus and DiFlex Duo can be an integral part of that message. Corvus works on driver weeds within the broadleaf area, for an example, water hemp, palmer, giant ragweed, and lamb's quarter, depending on what your driver weeds are in your area, just the general broadleaves. And then for grass control, we have the general foxtails and woolly cupgrass, which is another problematic weed in the Midwest. DiFlex Duo is our selective post herbicide used in corn for management of problematic broadleaf weeds and some grass species. Typically, DiFlex Duo is used anywhere from the emergence of corn through the V7 stage of the corn plant.
Corvus and DiFlex Duo have different sites of action, or SOAs, which is defined as how a particular herbicide acts on a plant. Rotating different sites of action provides good weed management and herbicide resistance management. Collectively, the Corvus and DiFlex Duo applications make for a strong defense against weeds in crop fields, but growers should understand the individual attributes of these herbicides, how they work, and how they are to be applied.
We prefer typically right at plant as a pre-emerge application with Corvus. Usually the tank mix partner involved with Corvus is atrazine. Atrazine basically helps you on your large seeded broadleaves. The applicator would mix up his Corvus and atrazine, and usually the carrier is water or even fertilizer at that point, liquid 32. And he would spray that across the field right over the top of the soil and let rainfall activate and work the herbicide in, and it's ready to go as soon as you spray it. The reactivation with Corvus herbicide is a unique function of what really separates our product versus others. Reactivation means that after you spray it, and if you go through a dry period of 7 to 10 days, let's just say, your herbicide will start drying up on the soil. Then as you have rainfall, can actually reactivate that herbicide, and Corvus is active both through the shoots and through the roots of the weed.
The ability of Corvus to have residual activity and reactivation is unique, as is the way it serves as a burn-down application to those early emerging weeds.
And if we're going in that early burn-down scenario, that's where we would add typically a Roundup and a 2,4-D with the Corvus atrazine in order to enhance that burn-down activity. So the maximum use rate within a given season for Corvus herbicide is 5.6 ounces. And that is our recommended use rate, typically in a given period of time, 365-day period. Corvus is our soil applied material, and it may range from 10 to 20 gallon per acre as water as the carrier. However, we have retailers that will apply Corvus with fertilizer, and you may have 80 to 100 gallons going out. So volume really varies quite a bit with Corvus. If you're spraying with the carrier fertilizer, typically it's like a flood jet type of tip because the amount of volume going out of the sprayer. If they are utilizing just water as the carrier, basically a standard tip. We don't have any preference as long as it's staying on target. Corvus herbicide has a re-entry interval of 12 hours. Re-entry basically means that after you apply the material, without proper personal protective equipment, you can't enter that field in that given period of time.
DiFlex Duo has some unique attributes of its own as a post-emergence herbicide. It's a tank mix of 2 effective herbicides and sites of action. It has several of the same recommended tank mix partners as Corvus.
DiFlex Duo is our selective post herbicide that we recommend. A typical tank mix partners, atrazine up to 12-inch corn is a recommendation. And then usually the other thing is for the grass control Roundup is an excellent tank mix partner to really round out the weed control overall. DiFlex Duo is mainly a broadleaf herbicide with grass activity. So grasses have to be at an optimum stage of less than 1.5 inches tall. Broadleaves, basically our recommendation is anywhere from 2 to 5 inches tall. And then you can get excellent burn down and residual with that herbicide at that point. DiFlex Duo, you can apply it twice within a season. The seasonal max is 72 ounces. Our use rate typically is 32 ounces. That's what we are recommending to producers. Our adjuvants of choice with the DiFlex Duo is typically a crop oil or a methylated seed oil, MSO, and a nitrogen source. We want to make sure that spray is staying within the borders of the confine that's getting the application. Drift is very important on post-emerge herbicides. We want to utilize tips that will keep the spray on our targets themselves. So after you apply DiFlex Duo, you have to wait 8 months in order to plant soybeans, which is a very typical crop rotation with a residual herbicide. So after you apply it, you have to wait 24 hours to go into that field without any personal protective equipment. The pre-harvest interval is 45 days also for DiFlex Duo. For both herbicides, just standard PPE equipment. Typically you have long sleeve shirt, long pants, you have chemical resistant gloves, protective eyewear, and protective footwear.